Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about death metal, DC's death metal, and my overall feelings of the event. I'm not really gonna go into much details about the event, but my overall summary is just like, finally, it's over. Like, I can finally breathe again. The event was so bloated, so convoluted for no reason. And like everybody's been saying, like I've been hearing people saying, it's just like Scott Snyder kept trying to one up himself every time, which made absolutely no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. It just made no sense. You keep up in the ante to the point where you don't pass the ceiling. You don't pass the glass ceiling. You can't go past it no more. You're just keep ascending until there's nothing. It's a dud, to be honest. And I'm not really interested in trying to read an event that it just kind of was like, all right, cool, snooze fest. We're done. We're done with these events. But my problem is with the DC Metal event and how they did the whole, oh, now we have an omniverse and universes are crashing into each other, characters are going to visit or whatever and stuff like that, because it gives creativity where everything is canon and nothing is canon or whatever and stuff like that. It comes off lazy. It really does. It comes off lazy. It comes off unoriginal, because it's just like, oh, well, because we're tired of having continuity constrict on the writers and stuff like that, and because we don't want the fans to keep talking about continuity or whatever, we're just gonna do everything and see what happens. That's stupid. That's lazy, because after a while you're going to have to put that back in the box. You're going to have to put that back in the box, because wasn't that the whole point of Crisis on Infinite Earth, when you were like, oh, everybody's getting confused because you didn't really have a continuity like that. You had certain comic books in another universe, you had certain comic books in another universe or whatever, but they were colliding a lot. They were showing up in each other's books, or certain things were happening in the books that were referencing from the other universes that didn't make any darn sense. So then you did Crisis on Infinite Earth. Did you not learn anything from Crisis on Infinite Earth? You had it. You literally had it. You had Crisis on Infinite Earth, then you did the whole 0 Hour Crisis in Time, and then you went from there. I'm sorry. For you to do DC Rebirth and Doomsday Clock and ignore both of those things for this convoluted 5G crap, future state bull crap, and a whole excuse of everything is everything. Okay, if everything is special, what's the whole point of people caring? Because you say that now, you say that, oh, people want continuity, people want to make sure what they're reading matters. When you have this epic storyline in Batman, like let's say for instance, Batman issue number 4. I mean, not number 4. Let's say Batman issue 300. All the way 300 all the way to 310 is a 10-part storyline. You know what I'm saying? And you do that, you conclude it when 311 comes. It's a story about Black Batman, or Batman Terry McGinnis, or the time that Azrael took over the mantle of Bruce Wayne. What where was that lead up at? What does that have to do with the actual Batman title? You get what I'm saying? You see how that gives free range of, you can jump or whatever, but at some point you're going to have to put some kind of continuity in there, because what is what is who is where, how many origins are you going to retell? Because even if you did retell these origins, people are going to be like, well, you said that everything matters, but everything doesn't matter at the same time. So if somebody saw the 1940s origins of Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, or whoever, they're going to go with those origins. But then somebody might say, well, I like the 1970s origin, or the New 52 origin was cool. Wait, no, the Rebirth one was awesome. You know what I'm saying? You see how you keep doing this reboot nonsense. You can't constantly keep doing this reboot stuff, Or now you're at the point where everything matters. Okay, if everything matters, nothing matters then. That is literally what you're saying. You're literally copping out and saying, like, well, we have this event, DC Death Metal, which is supposed to be a Wonder Woman event. You have this Wonder Woman event that's supposed to show Wonder Woman in like this most heroic moment, and yet you say screw everything because we're literally too lazy to be creative in a time constraint. I'm sorry. This is a universe. This is the problem with Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, all of these shows that have universes and rules. You just can't throw them away just because there are writers who are too lazy to work within those constraints or want to try to change 80 years of history. You just can't keep doing that. And you can't keep telling your core audience that they have to keep agreeing or jumping on board with it, because a lot of people gonna keep jumping off. And there are some people that will be like, oh, you know what you're talking about because future state, blase, blase. It's a 2-month event. It's a 2-month event. That doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to come back. You know what I'm saying? And just because it sold well doesn't mean it did well, if that makes sense. It's a moderate success because, again, we know how comic books work. We know how the shipping works. We know that some places aren't getting it. And we know a lot of comic book shops and places aren't buying any of DC stuff because of the fact of the price is too much, or the whole, oh, here we go again with a convergent thing. Really, you know what I'm saying? You're basically doing convergence and futures in one event, pretty much. And you're doing that whole DCU thing where, oh, we're not going to have any continuity. We're just going to tell stories. That didn't work the last time, so what makes you think it's going to work now? Because Death Metal said so? It's lazy. It's lazy as hell. It's not creative, because if you're a creator and somebody give you a universe full of characters that has history, that has lore, you need to learn how to respect it. You need to learn how to respect it. You always want people to be successful or whatever. You always want more people to read these books or whatever, but price gouging it, giving half-ass stories, ignoring continuity, ignoring years of history, ignoring your core fan base, that doesn't help. How does that bring in people? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Then you had two events. You had the whole DC Rebirth Initiative, and you had the whole Doomsday Clock that literally gave you a get out of free jail card. It literally gave you a good get out of free jail card where it was like, erase the New 52, go back to pre New 52 continuity, start from there. There you go. All of that crap that happened in New 52 doesn't exist anymore. That's all you had to do. That's literally all you had to do. I keep trying to tell people, no matter how you want to slice it, no matter how you want to look at it, when you see most DC products or whatever, this includes shows, video games, movies, all of this stuff, most of it is based off of pre-New 52, post-crisis DC universe. You need to get over yourself, DC, and stop trying to ignore that fact. When you have merchandise and stuff like that, you're not selling the New 52 stuff. You did try, and it didn't work. I've seen more pre-New 52 stuff sell than New 52 stuff. Why? Because people don't care about the New 52 like that. Your main audience, and especially a lot of your iconic storylines, came throughout the 80s and the 90s. Most of your movies, shows are based off of those 30 years of history that you just said screw it because you wanted to get a quick new readership in. How did that work for you? 3 months and the New 52 became a failure that they didn't want to admit. You know, it's sad that Dan DiDio got fired or whatever and stuff like that, but he should have known better. He should have known better. You don't shoot what is successful. You know what I'm saying? DC's always been number two. That's just how the monkey paw goes. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. It is what it is. But at least DC was getting good stories out more so than Marvel was. You know, Marvel was flooding the shelf, but DC was bringing in more quality. Now you ain't even getting that. You have a stupid event that literally did nothing. It was a overbloated sequel to an event that should have been wrapped up already. And we thought that's what DC Rebirth Doomsday Clock should have been. It was a mistake to ignore all of that. Anytime you have a get out of free jail card, to ignore all of the crap that happened in the past 10 years, you guys be like, nope, screw it, let's do it all over again. Just to go back and having another event that's going to highlight the flaws again and make it more convoluted and more complicated than it needs to be, just to reboot all over again. Have an event that quote unquote reboots everything. Because that's exactly what we need. I just don't get it, DC. I don't get it. I hope these March solicitations do something. I hope by the end of this year, you guys will learn, calm down with the bull crap, and maybe actually take what Doomsday Clock did and actually go with it. Because I don't think this whole everything is going to work. Because it's not. It's not. You still need to have some kind of continuity. You need to have some kind of, timeline. You need to go on the Pokemon route then. Every season is a new region, new people or whatever, but it still has the same history. Sometimes they retcon a little bit, but not like this. DC, you just gotta stop with the reboots. The event was just not good, DC. This was not the best foot forward, especially for a Wonder Woman led event. It just wasn't good. Not at all. I just was not pleased, and I didn't like the ending. It just felt so at the end. It felt like the end of Dark Knight's Death Metal, where they all got the armor on, and then it was like, we wishing to defeat whatever, defeated everything, and then broke a hole in the source wall, and bullshit happened, and then Death Metal destroyed the Batman Who Laughs once and for all, and let's make Wonder Woman go into the infinite frontier of whatever and stuff like that, and recreate the universe and all that kind of nonsense. And now the universes are just out there doing whatever they want to. They still should have barriers around it. There should be restrictions. You just can't have these characters popping in and out like that. I don't know. It's just weird to me. I'm sorry I'm ranting about it. But Death Metal just wasn't a good event. And it sucks too, because not only did you have Wonder Woman 1984, which wasn't that great for Wonder Woman, you have Death Metal, which was another event for Wonder Woman that wasn't good neither. So it's just like, dang, can y'all do better by Wonder Woman, please? Dang. But yeah, that was my little video, quick thing about my overall thoughts about the ending of Death Metal. Tell me if you guys liked it or not. I know I didn't really like it, because it just felt like, oh, why are we doing this again? But I know there was some cool moments, but other than that, it just wasn't all that great. But yeah, I'd like to hear it from you guys, and tell me what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.